Hey everybody! Welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. So last time we did all this crap, everything that's over here, God help us. But we're done with that now. And I think moving my mouse almost just got the camera stuck, but we can't actually leave this because if you'll remember we jumped over something to get down to this where this maggot was previously, so we're gonna have to warp out of here, and frankly, I'm perfectly okay with that. If we never go back to Lost Izalith again, perfect. Wonderful. Wonder-perfect. We are gonna go back to the Daughter of Chaos, though, because we want to see Quaylana, and we got 60,000 souls. And the next area that we want to go to is a place that I've sort of been waiting on for quite a while. I'm sure most of you know what it is. Let's make our way over there. Let's first equip our Rusted Iron Ring. We won't need it for very long, but just very useful for this part. All this sewer walking. Now I can't walk directly across this, since this will, like, reactivate the elevator if I step back on that. And God knows I'm already going to waste enough time on this one. We got some stuff to get to today. Alright, now what do you have to say?
Outstanding. You have done very well. Thank you. I am blessed to have met you. I suppose I can call you fool no longer. I can hardly thank you enough. Please take this. It is all of me.
For our hard work destroying the remains of her mother, let's put it that way, we get a new pyromancy, Fire Tempest. She says it is all of me. Does she have anything else?
Thank you.
Okay.
I suppose I can call...
Fair enough. Okay, so all of these take one slot. Combustion's always good, but we already have it. Try out Great Combustion. Fire Whip is very silly. Undead Rapport, because we might as well just take some expensive stuff. We can... Oh, right, we have enough to ascend our Pyromancy Flame, so definitely do that. So, ascending it doesn't change the name, but it does up the damage you do. And also allows you to continue upgrading it using this secondary path here. You'll notice it's outrageously expensive, but if you really want to go into Pyromancy, it's ridiculously powerful just as long as you got the cash for it. It's very good with like physical builds that don't want to bother with magic very much, because in this game doesn't have anything to do with magic at all. I can actually buy all of her stuff. That's good.
Thank you.
Okay. Good shit. All of your mother's souls went to me buying more pyromancies. Lovely.
Now go. Don't you dare let yourself go hollow, lest my time spent on you be wasted.
Now, I think that's a slightly different line than she had previously, and I really like that slightly stronger show of affection that she has for you. She sort of... she respects you now, you know? It's just so tiny and subtle, and you'd barely notice the change, but it's so good. I love it. Let's see... Ah, yes, I was going to read. So everybody loves reading. These are my miracles. So, Fire Whip. Primal Pyromancy taught by Quaylana of Izalith. Sweep foes with Fire Whip. The root pyromancy of combustion, but much more difficult to wield. We have Great Combustion, pyromancy which improves upon combustion. Create powerful giant flame in hand. Great Combustion creates a powerful flame, but many sorcerers mock the simplicity of this spell. Love getting the little jabs in at sorcerers. Did we read Chaos Storm? I think so, but eh. Art of the Flame of Chaos, which engulfed the Witch of Izalith and her daughters. Erect localized chaos fire pillars. The Witch of Izalith, in an ambitious attempt to copy the first flame, created instead the Flame of Chaos, a twisted bed of life. Then Fire Tempest is what we just got. Primal Pyromancy of Quelana of Izalith. Erect giant fire pillars in the vicinity. So you can kind of see that this is like... The Chaos version is sort of more powerful, but you'll notice it takes 2 spell slots, so Fire Tempest is quite nice for that. The tempestuous raging flames resemble those summoned by the Daughters of Chaos when they challenged the ancient dragons and scorched the very earth. It's actually the bigger version of Firestorm, which is a really funny spell, so we're definitely going to use Fire Tempest. Okay, actually I'm going to go over to this bonfire and equip these things. Because we're going in this direction anyway. Get out of here. I do notice that I never sat at Quelana's bonfire, so we're still at 5 Estus Flasks. I don't think that matters that much though, because we're going to have a new home base bonfire pretty soon. What I wanted. I'm very good at this. Hey, there we go. It always fucks me up when a menu like that comes up instantly when you hit it, because you might be smashing the button down. Anyway, so we currently have Firestorm. Let's turn that into Fire Tempest, and we're gonna have some fun. It's a very silly spell. Of course, these things are actually not weak to fire, since, you know, they have those fire whip attacks that they throw at you. All that said, we are actually going to make our way in the direction that that we found Siegmeyer last time. Last time we were in here, that is. Boy, everything that I just did there was wrong. Let's just leave. So, one thing I've sort of pointedly ignored every time that we've been through this area is this ramp that's up here. I'm gonna kill these actually, just because they might drop some shards. And I may eventually be in the business of shard gathering. Yeesh. Nope, no luck today. Oh my god, really? Get out of here. So, we never really went up this ramp here. I believe we even went down... No, we didn't. We just ignored this completely. How subtle of me. So, might as well get this. God, if I die here, I will laugh so hard. Haven't even gotten to the tough part yet. So, in this corner, we do find a green Titanite shard. But we're really more interested in this ramp over here. I wasn't sure I could fit through there. Glad I could. So we have been seeing all of these trees around here, and if we look, we see a hidden path ahead. We kind of come up into an area that's quite different just from the stuff on the ground. It seems like we kind of enter into this big tree here in a little hole. And there's an item here, but you may be suspicious when you see it. And if you hit just the right corner, you end up in a little thing with a chest. Isn't that cool? That's fun, right? Chest has twin humanities. That's really nice. But if you just so happen to swing again, there's actually a second illusory wall behind this. I think this is the only, like, explicitly double illusory wall in the game, and it actually hides the Great Hollow. You see that big tree that we stopped at before? It's not doing so great. It's actually kind of hollowing out. And we can enter it. And we just got 400 souls because something just fell off the edge. You'll see why that happened in a moment. The Great Hollow is one of my favorite secrets in the game because it's... The first time I found this, I felt so fucking clever. Like, you go into this, you see that first soul there, and it's like, wow, this looks kind of like this looks like the kind of place that they would hide something, you know? You hit the wall, you open it up, and it's like, oh, that's cool. I got a humanity because I'm very, you know, I notice things. That's awesome. You go there, and I probably saw a message for it, but I don't even remember exactly how it happens. But you hit that second wall, and suddenly you're in a completely different world. It's so incredible. It's so well hidden. And when you find it, it sort of feels like just a secret just for you. It's so hard to describe this, but I love the Great Hollow. Of course, I don't love Fallen all that much, and there's not really anywhere to go but down here. A touch I really like is these branches here, because you really can't follow this path without breaking them. I do see a lizard over there, but it seems to have noticed us, so it's gone now. Getting over there would be kind of tough anyway, huh? Probably have to get on that branch too. There's a lot of pathfinding in this area, let me put it that way. Because you can really stand on most of these flattened branches here. You know, you might come around here. Oh god. I hit a button. Yeah, so the thing about Fire Tempest is it actually takes up a lot of uses. Pretty great. I was trying to just punch, but I forgot that was R2. Whoops. So anyway, you make your way down, and it actually gives you a lot of time to sort of find your footing and, you know, just look around this incredibly detailed, incredibly scary area. Because, I mean, platforming has never been Dark Souls' strong suit, and this definitely requires some level of it. It's a very winding path, but it does give you the time to at least, you know, consider where you're going at first. That said, there are items here that require you to fall in controlled ways, and if you look over there, there's certain enemies that you may recognize. Gonna be a fun time. Luckily, basilisks don't really have that much health. You do gotta be careful, though. Those clouds are an issue. Especially on this incredibly just thin area over here. So, like, when you found the basilisks in the depth, you were in cramped quarters, but you never really it never really felt dangerous to just, you know, walk around the area. I mean, there were some traps and things, but here, one false move and you were just plain dead. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. We're probably going to end up going down here more than once, but I don't know exactly if we're going to get every item, because I don't really know where every item is in this area, or at least the path that you have to take to get them. Hopefully I don't miss anything too fun. Guess we'll see. But yeah, this area is probably the worst case scenario for fighting basilisks. And you have to be really careful, just because look at all this shit. I think this is the proper path, so let's try to see what's on the other one. Granted, proper path is sort of, you know, quote-unquote, because paths here sort of just start and end at will, and sometimes you kind of just have to look down at something and say, can I fall on that? Yeah, I can. And sometimes there's a payoff for it, sometimes not so much. Jeez. So it looks like I gotta keep going down, but it looks like this is a fairly safe drop right here. As you fall off and die a whole bunch of times, you'll definitely get proficient at figuring out which routes will and won't kill you. For example, this one might, but looks like I can at least fall down to here. That branch is gonna make it a little tough, so let's actually fall on this side. There we go. I know a lot of people don't really like this area for the fact that it forces you to do the Dark Souls platforming experience, but I feel like as a one-off area, and for as relatively short as this actually is, the Great Hollow is really, really cool and really, really different. Like, you don't see anything like this in the rest of the game. It's sort of like Crystal Caves in that way, if Crystal Caves wasn't so completely awful, you know? It's very, very unique and uses the game's systems in just completely different way. Do get a white Titanite chunk, that's nice. And again, it's short enough that I don't feel completely awful when I have to play through it a few times. I'm kind of just meandering my way through this, hitting items whenever I can find the place to. That was a close one. I very easily could have slipped off of that and fallen down and probably died. I think most of the items here are chunks. But yeah, I really also like the way that all of these paths, like, that they don't lead anywhere, or at least a lot of them don't, because it really does make you sort of map out the space, and when you see a fucking item like that shit right there, you kind of go like, okay, you start trying to figure out, how would I do this? Oh yeah, I think I went the wrong side here, didn't I? Yeah, I was supposed to go on the other side. Oops. Well, looks like we're gonna try to get that item. But it makes this whole tangled route here feel like more of a real space, and not something like in a JRPG dungeon where if you see a path, or if you see a split in the path, you want to go down the wrong one just because you know the way this was designed, there's going to be a treasure chest in the one that isn't progress. Like, this area feels so much different from that, and I really like it for what it does. Okay, the fall might not kill me here, but the serpents, but the basilisks that are down there might. So let's see how this goes. I missed it. That wasn't so bad. Do we have to jump to that? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, that's one down. Don't remember how many are down here. It's worth noting that the 400 souls that we got when we first when we first walked into this place were because a basilisk fell off the trees. I don't even know how far down that is, but that happens fairly often. You know, like, sort of like that right there. They kind of just spawn in bad places. Unfortunately, the fall damage didn't kill that one off, but... That said, since we do see a hole, you can actually find a bit of a rope ladder here. And that's another really nice touch, where, like, clearly this place is sort of a smaller tree growing inside of a bigger tree. Kind of a strange design here. But these little rope ladders that you see, like there's another one that leads up somewhere around here. They kind of show that this is a place that has been occupied by something in the past. It's sort of just a rope and wood ladder here. Very, very functional. And it's around all of this sort of dead underbrush that forms that forms like a mezzanine layer. And honestly, I'm kind of just putting this part off because this is going to be tough. Let's go. We go down, and you know how that area before was like it's just a big old flat platform that had a bunch of basilisks on it? This area is a floating platform with a lot of space under it, and a lot of roots to get in your way, and a lot of basilisks. Oh god. Didn't do that too badly so far. Might also... yeah, there we go. I thought there was one more because one guy fell down. Really? Oh, come on. Well, see you later. That should kill him. Yep. And, we see a cursed statue in a very unfortunate position here. Glad that's on. Yeah, looks like the Wolf's Connectivity mod is working. So we get to this sort of mezzanine level here, and, well, there's still further down to go, and you'll actually start to see the character of the tree changing here. The central stalk here is still, you know, it's up, it's supporting these things, but it's getting a bit mushroomy. I actually think I am going to try to fall for that item because we haven't died yet and I'm feeling foolhardy. Pretty sure this is one that you can only get by falling onto this branch here. It's, is that a... What was that? Oh, the prompt was climb up the ladder. I was very confused there. Now, where is this? Shiny, shiny. It's a bit tough to, like, look over these ledges here. Right, so that's the walk-off, and it sort of goes around, and it should be, like, right below this. Oh god. This ledge has a non-zero chance of killing me. Might be a little further. Yeah, I think it's next hole over. God. You can kind of see how, like, the camera makes it a bit tough to navigate here. There it is. That's further than I thought. Alright. But especially because you can't really place it directly overhead. Damn it! Oh, goodbye. Yeah. I'm not gonna keep investing humanity into this till we get to the bottom. Cause dying here does put you all the way back.